It's like keeping me in a poverty state almost.
I don't see how, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just washing hair with shampoo and conditioner. We do that at home every day,
All of it riding on that final test. Basically a $15,000 final test to get my license.
For about 20% of jobs here in the state of Michigan, people have to have a license in order to work. There are about 200 jobs that require a license, and that means educational requirements, it means mandated college degrees, it means fees, continuing educations, and all these types of barriers to entry. What we see is as soon as the government requires a license, that immediately means a 15 to 30% higher prices for consumers. It means less competition. And it means a higher recidivism rate. So actually higher percentage of people returning to prison.
It becomes very frustrating because as the law reads, as far as I see it, it's okay for me to contract a job with a homeowner as long as it's under $600. And if it requires a permit, then I can't be involved in it. Let's say I want to pick up and move a house, that's okay. But if I want to demolish the house, I need to pull a permit. Sanding a floor is another one. You need a license for that, but installing a floor requires no license.
It's really a fundamental, systemic, almost a violation of due process because it treats everybody the same way. In other words, you're automatically disqualified and precluded from obtaining employment regardless of the fact that you've rehabilitated yourself, you've maybe become educated, you've fixed the problem, and you're treated as though you still have the problem. It doesn't allow for individual considerations. For example, once someone has done his time, paid his fine, served his probation, provided his community service, he's good to go. He should be good to go, or she should be ready to be employed without that stigma, the prior conviction.
I just feel like a person like myself and many others deserves a second chance. This is the land of second chances.
I'm willing to look at him in a different way, where if he goes to a bigger business, if he goes to a government agency and all they do is look at his application and they see you have a felony, and they shut him down immediately, and he has no option. Doesn't matter how much he talks, how smart he is, it's irrelevant to them.
I'm a hair braider, professional hair braider. I've always loved braiding hair. I used to love watching people braid, and that's how I learned how to braid. I learned on my own. Thank God I didn't need a license to braid, so that made my life a lot easier. I did go to cosmetology school, but unfortunately they don't teach hair braiding. So I didn't finish because I wasn't really interested in being a cosmetologist. And then finally I was blessed to open up this salon, and it's a hair braiding salon. That's all we do is hair braiding. And other hair salons, braid salons that I've seen and been in, they have a sink, they wash hair and blow dry hair. So I never thought it was no. I never thought it was against the law. I don't see how, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just washing hair with shampoo and conditioner. We do that at home every day, So I don't see how it's a problem.
Me and my brother ended up going to the same school and ended up being in the same program. He was not able to get into the workforce because he wasn't able to pass his MBLET because he tried 3 times, and that really hurt his motivation, and he really suffered from not being able to pass that test.
One of the questions was, what is the tax exemption amount for personal income tax? that really doesn't make you a better massage therapist. If you can't pass this 1 hour test, then you have no recourse. You can't ever practice or earn any money at this.
I don't think being a good massage therapist and being a good test taker are kind of one and the same.
So what we think that the state should be doing is continually reviewing licenses that are on the books every year and reviewing these, seeing whether they make sense to protecting health and safety. They should eliminate these good moral character provisions. We should not be looking into the backgrounds, the criminal backgrounds of individuals unless it's directly related to the job that they're going into. And we shouldn't have local governments imposing their own licensing on top of what the state mandates. If you're good enough to be a mechanic in Oakland County, then you're probably good enough to be a mechanic in the city of Detroit.